Before, you've told me how you met Ed.
How I met Ed?
Do you remember how you first met Ed?
Through Kenny Duncan.
Was it at
at Kenny's apartment.
Was it a party or was it just
No, Ed just dropped over.
Yeah.
And immediately took Kenny's living girlfriend of the time, Betty, into the bedroom and
had his way with her?
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, Kenny had a lot of girlfriends though, so he probably wasn't too upset, was he?
Yeah, he had an awful lot of girlfriends.
Yeah.
A lot of Japanese ones too, because he went over to Japan
to make that movie, right?
To make the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, after you first met Ed, did you start to run into him more often at Kenny's place, or did you guys hit it off and he said he made movies? Had you seen any of Ed's movies before you met him?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
They weren't playing anywhere?
No.
Right. He just had them on reel-to-reels. Did he show you some? Did you ever go to his apartment? And what did he show you? Do you remember what ones he showed you?
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
And what did you think? Be honest.
I always admired him because he gave actors that nobody would hire any more work.
Right. And besides Bela Lugosi, who are some of the other actors that he gave work to?
Well, Bud Osborne.
Right.
And Kenny, of course.
Right.
And Tom Keene.
Right. And who was the guy that played the judge in that movie that died the day after?
Oh no, that was Herbert Rollins.
Right.
And then I Stanford Charlie played a judge in another of Ed's movies.
Oh, okay. So he got all these, and were they all friends? Did he get them because one knew the other one, or did Ed go out and find them on his own?
Well, a lot of them worked with each other.
So they all kind of knew each other.
Others didn't.
Right. And then you used to go over to Ed's and Kathy's
every Friday night
to watch movies and stuff and hang out?
We just hang out and bullshit a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And then you said that you worked with Ed on one of Stephen Apostoloff's on a couple.
Two of them.
Two of them. What were the names of those?
Cocktail Hostesses and Dropout Wife.
And so you told me a story about you got a little bit hammy in one of your scenes with one of the girls that you were in the bar. Tell me that.
Steve used to call me Mustache because I had a mustache one time. And then the scene called for me and the girl kiss each other.
You were in a bar or something, right?
Yeah, in a nightclub.
Nightclub, okay.
And he said the trouble with that shot was you could hear you and the girl kissing.
You were smooching too loud.
Yeah.
Now, was Eddie in that scene too? Was he one of the bar patrons?
He was in it too.
Yeah? Is that the only time you two ever acted together that you know of?
Those two movies, yeah.
Those two movies. And then you, of course, you saw Ed a lot when he was writing his stories for the girly magazines and some of his books.
Yeah.
You'd go over there sometimes. Did he dress as Shirley very often that you saw?
Once in a while.
Once in a while? Was that kind of weird for you to...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was... I mean, did you call him Shirley or did you call him Ed? No matter what?
I called him Ed.
No matter how he was dressed, right? Yeah. And what was Kathy like back then?
Oh, she used to raise hell.
Yes, she was a hell raiser.
She hated Apostolov.
That Bulgarian bastard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as Ed went downhill and the drink and everything, and they got thrown out.
And Peter Coe took him.
Yeah, for a brief for 1 week, I guess, before Eddie had his heart attack.
He passed on.
Yeah, and what was that like? And then a year or two later, all of a sudden, Ed wins this so-called Golden Turkey Award and becomes well known. What did you think about that? Do you remember what your thoughts were?
Well, I didn't exactly agree with him.
As far as his being the worst and Plan 9 being the worst?
There were other movies that were a lot worse. At least you weren't bored with Eddie's movies.
There was always something interesting going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then of course, somebody wrote a movie based on you.
Called Edward Ford.
And who wrote that movie?
Ronald Keatai, a.k.a. Lem Dobbs.
Lem Dobbs.
Lem Keatai, a.k.a. Lem Dobbs.
And you knew Lem in the 70s and 80s when he was out here, and you were driving cabs at that time?
Yeah.
And you were doing a little bit of bit acting here and there?
Yeah, a bit here and there.
A little bit?
I did a lot of black stage plays as the villain. And Jerry Jones, the director and writer, used to call me the stuntman.
The stuntman.
Because I could do backflips over tables.
You were good at that, huh?
Yeah.
And then, of course, your niece. What was your niece's name?
Christina Ward.
And she made a short film
called The Last Black Hat.
And that would be who? That would be you?
Yeah. And I have the DVD.
You have the DVD.
In my drawer,
and you were
only ran 7 minutes.
And you were one of the last villains alive, right? Appearing in movies. Is that the premise of the story?
Yeah.
More or less?
Yeah.
So filmmaking runs in your family now.
Yep.
And much better filmmaking, we hope, than Eddie, right?
Yeah.
All right, David, my battery's running out, so I'm going to say thank you very much. I'm glad we got this on tape.
Okay.
All right.